Thursday, August 18th, Webster Town Board meeting to order. Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dolly, if you could do roll call, please.
Supervisor Flaherty.
Here.
Councilman Abbott.
Here.
Councilman Cato.
Here.
Councilwoman Wynn. Here. Town Attorney Genesi.
Present. All right, well, our first agenda item in the evening is a fun one. We are going to move to the podium to present a proclamation to the Rochester Hearing and Speech Center. Yes. Thank you. Come on up, gang. All right, good. I'm bringing everybody up. Because I just want to make sure. Oh, you guys can come up. Yep, no, come on up. And I want to make sure. Oh, okay, so. Wait a minute. Well, this is Bob Russell from the Rochester Hearing and Speech. I know that. Jeanette is taking pictures. Katie. Hi, Katie. Katie, too. And Lisa. Okay. All right. And three are from Rochester Hearing and Speech Center, and one is from the school district.
I am. I'm here to support them and congratulate them.
Are you a speech pathologist, maybe? There you have it. That makes sense. Well, okay. I'm going to read this off, Bob, all right? This is a proclamation for outstanding community service presented to Rochester Hearing and Speech Center. Whereas the town of Webster is honored to recognize citizens and business owners who demonstrate exemplary service to our community and a profound dedication to making Webster where life is worth living. And whereas Rochester Hearing and Speech Center is celebrating their 100th anniversary as a non-for-profit agency serving the needs of our community and is committed to helping children and adults develop the skills and abilities necessary to communicate for life. And whereas RHSC is the longest-standing and most experienced non-for-profit provider of speech, language, and hearing services in Monroe and surrounding counties, and a founding member of the L. Siegel Community of Agencies, and whereas RHSC is a partner of the Webster School District to provide early childhood intervention services and programs to support the growth and abilities for our children, and whereas RHSC is a trusted center for hearing health care for our residents from newborns to seniors, now therefore it be resolved that by the power invested in me as the town supervisor on behalf of the town board, we recognize the exemplary actions of the Rochester Hearing and Speech Center and hereby proclaim Friday, August 19th, 2022 as Rochester Hearing and Speech Center Day in the town of Webster. And that is for you, Bob.
Thank you very much.
And certainly jump up there and...
Thank you for all of your support and for all of the board and the town. It's pretty amazing to be with a not-for-profit agency that can say they're 100 years old, especially coming out of the challenges of the last couple years. But we've been so fortunate because we've been able to serve so many people that are in need of our services. Being as old as we are, we're serving 3 generations of families right now, which is absolutely amazing. People that came to us when they were children, now they're coming back as adults. They might have a different need, and also now their children are coming. But the one thing we're most proud of is, having one of our locations right here down the street in Webster. The fact that we're able to not just connect with this community, but the surrounding communities with Wayne County. We have a lot of people that come in for services there, and mostly being able to work with Lisa and the school district, because if it weren't those relationships to say, here's where we could really use your help, and here's the children that are mostly, in need, and being able to work with Katie and the rest of our early childhood development staff to help take care of these children and put them on a path where their disabilities will not stand in the way of all that they want to achieve. That's what we're most proud of as an agency, is just being able to hear these stories this year from people saying, here's how you've impacted our lives. So we are proud to be in Webster. We will continue to be here for a very, very long time, and we appreciate the support of all the town and also the other businesses that have reached out to us. So, thank you.
Well, thanks. And you said you would like to get a picture up with the board?
Yeah, I think
or-
if the board, if that's okay, and we can stand in front. I love the big Webster Where Life is Worth Living sign. It would be great to have in front of us.
Guess if we just, we're going behind there, is that?
Are they coming up here? You want us up there, or?
Sure. The photographer will tell us what, would you want them up here? That probably makes more sense.
Yeah,
Yeah?
that'd be great, okay,
Well,
thank
that's
you.
fine, I don't think we have any. You got any secret things back there?
No.
Besides your food stash? Wow, it's unbelievable.
Here, Lisa, you can
Right.
help me hold it.
You okay with it?
I am.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Couple more. 1, 2, 3. Sorry. Another one. We're good.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, good luck with the gala, and
Thank you, and we're gonna be driving around town blowing our horns tomorrow. When people go, why are you blowing horns? It's
you can
Rochester
do anything you
Speech
want.
Day.
I'll let Chief Colmeyer know you can have the sounds go
Supervisor
nuts,
told us we
right?
can have a parade down Ridge Road.
Thanks, John.
Thank you so much. Thanks for
Yeah.
cleaning up for you.
Thank you. Are you okay?
Well, this is a lot more fun than the last couple of meetings, huh? Yeah. Anyway, well, you have a weird impression of what fun is, John. Well, our next item up tonight is our open to the floor, and each speaker will be allowed up to 5 minutes to talk about anything they would like to. And I think we only have one signed-in speaker tonight, Dave Jenkins. Dave, jump up there. Now, to full disclosure, I ran into Mr. Jenkins at a coffee shop this morning, and I didn't realize you were going to take that conversation, and here you are.
It took me 4 cups of coffee to get here.
Well, there you go.
You're on 2. Okay, so good evening. My name's Dave Jenkins. I have some thoughts concerning the emergency medical services, or Northeast Quadrant ALS, currently being discussed for Webster. I would rename it, by the way, but that's going to be something different. I believe Webster needs a well-defined, fast, and reliable EMS. That is my position. The population density maps to Webster indicate little unoccupied area. Webster is a suburb, not a rural town, and people leave urban areas, move to the country, rural areas to escape the trappings of city life, which would include services such as EMS, the police, and handle it themselves. I believe that choice needs to be respected by towns moving forward. Penfield has in their town plan, down 250, west of that's agricultural, east of that is populated, and that's their plan. That's how they like it. We are as a population are at a crossroads, mainly driven by costs. The Webster Fire Districts, I've been to a couple of their meetings, have seemed to have ceased servicing ambulance-related incidents in Webster. Lack of funds, they can't get money back from the insurance companies. No insurance coverage, other financial shortfalls, and lack of personnel. They don't have the people. They are a volunteer organization, and as we know all over the United States, no one's filling the roles of the volunteer fire departments. I also understand that the ambulance was used as transportation for non-emergency service for patients from private families and from St. Anne's Retirement Establishment. I got yelled at for calling that an old folks home. This gap is not addressed in my plan. I don't know what to do about them. I believe Webster needs to force the ambulance-related cab service responsibility to the people involved. Let them plan ahead. A lot of that services aren't emergencies. They can be thought of, and they can wait 2 hours from someone to come from town to come out and get them. I don't know what to do there. I do not believe this service should be funded by the Webster Town residents, nor should this extraneous duty keep our population from proper protection. Again, my position, just me. I looked at town plans from Penfield and Webster. I looked at county population maps. I found pending state legislation, and there's the number there, and it's sponsored by mayor, whoever that is. If you read the document, it's not passable as it's written. There's a couple of spots in there that's got to be thrown out or whatever, but that doesn't matter. Right now, they're trying to define what a EMS as an essential service. It is not called that in lexicon anyplace. You can't find a definition such as that for EMS service. No decisions from state or county governments address or define the areas needed to be supported by universal EMS. This is presently a town-by-town decision. It's up to us. What and where? First, we need a firm definition of what Webster EMS area coverage is and their responsibilities. I believe if Webster pays, then there is a stop line at the border, town border. We can't afford to finance this service for other towns. It's their business, not ours. And the reason I put that in there is I ran into some of them and they said, well, you know, we're going to have to cross the town border once in a while just because we're good people. That's their short version of what they said. And not if we're paying. That's my opinion. Again, I did not get into an argument with them. It doesn't matter. It matters what we decide. Also, what is an emergency? And lastly, what level of service do we expect? And I put in there Becerra feature creep. At Xerox, for 15 years, I was head of a first responder, Building 209 First Responder Division. And I have first aid training and extensive leadership things. We had 5 EMTs were on our team, and we responded to this. And they kept trying to tell us we had to do this, this, and this. One was, for example, sign language. I go, when are we going to learn? When are we going to use that? A few other things like that, and that's what I call feature creep. Right now, if you look at the document that Ahmad passed out, they do a neurological test. They might do more than one, but I remember we had one where if you get someone sitting there and they're looking a little bit dazed, you ask them 3 questions. Can you say a rhyme? Can you remember my name? Where are you? And smile. If you can't lift both sides of your face at one time, that's a sign of a stroke. And you get those questions asked for someone 5 times in there before they see the doctor. When? I believe we should aim for a well-defined plan by March 1st of next year, and then give us 2 months to put it into action. That's, I was here for a meeting with Ahmad was here, he wanted by the end of this year. I think that's way too quick for something this important. This might be too quick, but I think the government needs to move along somehow, some way. How? At the moment, a tax increase is necessary. The Northeast Quadrant, ALS, had proposed a 25 cent per thousand of assessed property value. I'm not sure where he pulled that from. I couldn't find any backup data. And again, as the town board, and I'll help if you want for someone, Tom knows I'll help. I'll help, but I'm not sure what to do about that. That one's, I tried to figure out how to do that, and I couldn't figure it out. We need data to support this cost. Do we need a separate tax district similar to the fire and police? A history in the fire departments in the United States. There was none to start. Then a fire caught, and it caught the neighbors' places on fire, so that little town would start a fire department. Until the gas engine came along, you didn't get many volunteers. Fire departments were very small. It's whether you could push up, bucket brigade, that kind of idea. Also, I strongly encourage a town referendum. Voting booth or postcards mailed to every property. Just 2 ideas. There are other ways. There's polls you could take, stuff like that. But I think the town has to vote in on this, because I saw a lot of people come up here at the August 4th meeting. I saw 10 of them on tape. I didn't watch them all. And they all had anecdotal evidence, anecdotal data showing if something hadn't happened, my dad would be dead. And I'm not sure how to put a value on that. And I would not want my neighbor to have to make that choice. Me, I'm in fantastic shape. My doctor, every time I see him, he tells me I'm going to live longer than I should. Actually, he's got me up to 80. He's got me up to 86. I can't afford that. I can afford 82, but not 86. Anyhow. So that's what I've got. And do we need the EMS service? I believe we do. And who? That's us. We're the people that have to figure out how to get this done. That's all I got. I had lived.
Dave?
Thank you.
I might rue the day, but I let you go 2 extra minutes because you made a very articulate argument. And you wrote it out for us, which I really appreciate.
I'll help. If you need some help, you know me, Tom. I'll help.
Yep.
I just wanted to elaborate a little bit, because I know you made the statement that you don't really feel that our ambulance should be going to other communities. For years now, all the ambulance companies in Monroe County have had to sign on to what's called mutual aid. So when they have their ambulances in service and an adjoining ambulance company has a freed up ambulance, they will go and help. And everybody in Monroe County has to sign up for that. And you can't get out of it. And it makes sense. It
First of all, I
does.
agree with you, it makes sense, but we can't get out of it, from what I can tell. Again,
Well, you know what, and Dave, I want to thank you, and
But he
we
has-
will get, no, he did, and it's not so much a question, it is a fact, it's mutual aid, and we do.
No,
And I don't want to get into tonight how you get out of it or not get out of it, because we're going to move on, all right, but thank you, Dave.
but yes, I agree with
So-
you, and I think we should negotiate that. That has to be, this is a nightmare.
We are doing due diligence
So,
on this entire topic.
I want to, we have 2 minutes to be considered for approval. First, we have the July 28th, 2022 workshop, which coincidentally, one of the presentations was by Ahmed from NEQUAL. And I've read those minutes, Dolly, as you presented them. You had to write a lot, didn't you?
I did.
And I make a motion, we approve them.
Second.
Supervisor Flaherty?
Aye?
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
And I also reviewed the August 4th minutes, which, Dolly, you must have had to burn the midnight candle writing those, because at that meeting, we had an hour and a half of people at the podium, as David previously said, a lot of passionate people for EMS, as well they should be for EMS. And I would make a motion, we approve those minutes.
Second.
Supervisor Flaherty?
Aye?
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Abstain.
Oh, that's right, Bill, you missed all the fun that night, didn't you? Okay, John, I know it was you. You were in doing the bills.
Yes, I did review the bills, and they all seem to be in order, so I would move that we pay the bills as presented by the Director of Finance.
Second.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
Supervisor Flaherty?
Aye. And I went over the prepaid warrants as submitted by Paul Adams, our Director of Finance, and I make a motion we approve those.
Second.
Supervisor Flaherty?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
All right, Paul, I get the feeling you're going to be talking a lot the next couple of resolutions, huh?
The next 3 resolutions are actually all connected. They have to do with the Lake Road Pump Station project, which was funded by a Ready Grant, MO65. The grant is about $279,000, and the actual cost estimate to do the project is $827,170. So we have a shortfall of about $548,000 to complete the project. So we have decided to fund most of it from the sewer available fund balance. So we have a resolution to transfer $500,000 from available fund balance into the sewer capital reserve. And then a resolution to utilize $550,000 from the capital reserve to transfer that to the capital project to fund the balance of that project. And then there's a third resolution, which is to approve an amendment to the budget in the sewer fund so that we can appropriate those dollars to the capital fund.
Questions or comments on this? Well, I'm going to rattle them off, but one thing I will say is that Charlie, as town attorney, you and I, in the next week or so, need to set up a meeting with the village attorney and the village mayor. MO65, we're in an intermunicipal agreement with the village, and they have approximately 40% of this in the grant, but we're the lead agency, Paul?
Yeah, that's great. We're the lead agency. Yeah, this grant from Ready was unusual in that they split it between the town and the village.
Yeah.
Which certainly adds some complexity.
I know that it was spoken at past board meetings. We have a lot of resolutions and minutes and discussion on this at our town board meeting. I'm not finding that in the village board meetings, and I'm sure that they ran into the same problem we did with overages from the estimate. And I also have seen there some staff there, DPW commissioner and the treasurer, somewhat opining through email on the legal aspects of the IMA. Nothing against them. Charlie, you and I will talk to the mayor and the village attorney if they have any questions about how the IMA works. So, if you could put that in the notes. Thank you. Any questions on that?
I agree 100%.
Make a motion to transfer $500,000 from the sewer fund available fund balance G-00909 to the sewer capital reserve G-00878.
Second.
Supervisor Flaherty?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
Make a motion to transfer up to $550,000 from the sewer capital reserve G-00878 to finance project H-0226, the Ready MO65 Lake Road Pump Station improvements.
Second.
Supervisor Flaherty?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
And I make a motion to amend the 2022 budget to increase account G9950.90000, transfer to capital fund from G599.40092, appropriated fund balance by an amount of $550,000.
Second.
Supervisor Flaherty?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
T accounts in college, right? Never thought that accounting transactions would be read off as resolutions. Geez, I don't know. Charlie, do you want to?
I'll be glad to speak to this, Mr. Supervisor. Yeah, there's been discussion regarding a townwide drainage district. We currently have numerous, I don't know how many, hundreds. I don't know, Paul, do you know how many we have? It's under the highway department's
Not up
aegis, so, but in any event, we have numerous extensions to the drainage, what's known as the consolidated drainage district of the town of Webster. I know we have over 1,100 miles of drainage, and there's been discussion about putting the whole town into one large drainage district. And there's a number of reasons for that. One is administrative, the other is financial. So, I mean, I don't know how much you want me to go into it. The bottom line is that about, I think, between 75 and 80% of the people are paying into their drainage district, and which basically covers the entire town. The entire town is benefiting, and you have about between 20 and 25% that are not paying anything into it. So there is an issue with benefit.
Yep.
And what we'd like to do is make this more equitable. And so the plan is to make the entire town one large drainage district. And in any event, it'll be administered and then paid for more equally, which means a large portion of people's costs may go down.
It's funny, Charlie, because I think it was the August 4th workshop, when Pat Stevens, our highway superintendent, with Paul went over the drainage district. I think you had estimated for 2023 about 15,000 units, residential units,
That's right.
and around $40 a unit on that charge. As a point of reference, in 2022, there's about 11,800 units, which make up around 78% of the town's residential units. And those residents got charged $43,
Correct.
I think. So the equitable nature is that really the way this town is structured with and Mary Harrington is not here to explain it, the MS4 and the drainage and all that, everybody should be paying into this. There is no rationale for 78% of the units. So that's, we're going to do a public hearing, and if people want to come in and talk for it, against it, that's the time to do it. Any questions, board, comments about that?
The one thing I would, I do have two questions, just as to form. There's a reference here to Schedule A, which would be basically the meets and bounds of the entire district. So we are going to need a map of the district to be prepared and given to the town clerk in the event anybody wishes to view this. That's number one. Number two, the public hearing is going to be it's not going to be at a regular meeting night.
It's at a workshop, yeah.
All right, so it's going to be considered a workshop. It's not going to be a special meeting, it'll be a regular,
It's at a workshop,
Okay.
and the reason for that is that to have this effective as of 2023, it is subject to permissive referendum.
Correct, it is.
So this is one that I'll say right now, barring something unusual at the public hearing on September 8th, the board will vote on it after that. Then there'll be the 30-day
Correct.
Permissive referendum, and Donna Komar in the assessor's office really has to have that all set by
Right.
October 10th, so that it does end up on the county and town tax bills for January of 23.
Yeah, the 30th day supervisor would be the 8th of October, which is a Saturday, so yeah.
Right.
that's- yeah.
So, everybody got a little bit more than they bargained for on this one, and I'm gonna, when I read the resolution, and I'm gonna make a motion to set the public hearing for this for September 8th, 2022 at 5:30 PM here in the town board meeting room, to create a townwide and/or an expansion of the current consolidated drainage district, and advertise it in the Wednesday, August 24th, 2022 Webster Herald edition.
Second.
Supervisor Flaherty?
Aye?
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
Well, was it last week that Bob Wimmer was in from Navitas and gave the presentation? On our wastewater recovery,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions or comments about this next resolution, besides the fact that it's a little aggressive to set two public hearings on September 8th? I'm going to say that without anything, it sounds like we're ready, huh? Okay, then I'm going to make a motion to set a public hearing for September 8th, 2022, at 5:30 PM here in the town board room, to amend the original bond resolution for the Water Pollution Control Facility Asset Removal Project and the Water Resource Recovery Facility improvements, and advertise it in the Wednesday, August 24th, 2022 Webster Herald edition.
Second.
Supervisor Flaherty?
Aye?
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
All right. Cruising right along. I make a motion to declare the following items as surplus. Trade-in from the Webster Police Department, a 2017 Ford Explorer, asset tag number 06745, and another 2017 Ford Explorer, asset tag number 06746.
Second.
Supervisor Flaherty?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
You know, I apologize. Is there anything, Paul, you want, I mean, that's not your typical copier being,
No.
you know, put out to pasture. They trade these in. I'm sorry. Yeah,
You skipped one.
I beg your pardon?
Are you talking about the?
No, I'm just saying that the more I think about that resolution we just did, I mean, was there any questions anybody had about the two police vehicles, the Ford Explorers that got
No.
traded in? Okay. Now, the next one, is anybody got any questions about a fax machine that we're recycling?
Yeah, how old is it?
Sold. We weren't using it.
It's a
I
fax
found it in
machine,
the
Dad.
safe,
Did you really?
so-
Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. We tried to put tires on it and trade it in to get a car, John, but they wouldn't, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna make a motion to recycle the following item from the town clerk's office, a Brother MFC fax machine, asset tag number 3109.
Second.
Supervisor Flaherty?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
Okay, and our last item tonight, I gotta say, this was kind of a good problem to have. When Dave Arena and his family moved south, and he had to leave the planning board in the last month, we put out, and Karen Buck was very instrumental in this, put out on a portal to get applications for different residents who were interested in fulfilling his term. We got 5 applications.
Very qualified candidate.
It really was. And, you know, the process of narrowing it down from 5 to 3 and then finally to who we're going to appoint was pretty robust. And the ones that did not, that we're not appointing, we've already had conversations with them about their involvement in the comprehensive plan update next year. Very talented people, so
Yeah.
it was a good thing. So, any questions or comments about this person or this term that
It'd be
she'll
a very, very good addition to the planning board.
I think
Very
so.
good.
She was on it previously.
Yeah.
Had issues where she had stepped down because of, they were eventually gonna move and then they didn't, so.
Right.
She knows what she's doing, she's been involved.
Agreed. And really, to tell you the truth, at the end of the day, that was kind of the decider. She she can be up and running like that. So, anyway, I make a motion to appoint Jennifer Wright to the Webster Planning Board to fulfill the unexpired term of Dave Arena, whose term ends on December 31st, 2007.
Second.
Supervisor Flaherty?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
So that concludes the meeting tonight. I guess I'll let the phones be open for 5 minutes. You know, as I start going around, I mean, I lose, Bill. I thought I might have you out of here by 8, but it's 8:03. But I'm not that upset because you missed August 4th. So you know what? We'll keep you an extra couple minutes.
Yeah, it's,
You know?
gotta go on vacation once in a while.
Yes, you do. Paul, anything?
Well, Tom, the budget is getting close. We've had a few meetings here and there to fine-tune things. We hope to have some close to final numbers within 10 days or so. On September 1st, there will actually be a vote on the tentative budget, which makes the budget the preliminary budget, which the town supervisor presents to the town clerk.
Right.
And from that point on, changes can still be made, but by resolution.
Right.
Public hearing is toward the end of October.
Bill?
We have a meeting tomorrow at 9 o'clock to review the proposed garage facilities for the highway department with Navitas.
Yeah, we do.
and see how that works out.
Well, I'm very happy, Bill, that you are the liaison to Highway this year because, yeah, we need some guidance on that one, so, thanks. Charlie?
I think I spoke my piece already regarding the townwide drainage district, which is probably a very good thing.
Yeah. You know what's funny about that? It must have, people who bird dog our agendas, I got 3 emails in the last couple of days saying, what do you mean you're gonna do a townwide drainage district? You're already hitting me with $43 this year. And I had to get back to him and say, well, you know, actually, you're one of the 78% that gets it.
Yeah,
You should be happy because the way this is structured, I think you'll have a less charge next year. It is more equitable. And so the way they respond, oh, well, yeah, that's good. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop on the 22% who aren't in it, but we'll see. Jenny?
Well, I just want to tell everyone that to come out and support our locals farmer market. I think we only have 2 more weeks to go. Wednesday at Charlie Sexton Memorial Park. And also too, I would like to encourage our community to support our town library and our museum. And I hope everybody have a wonderful night.
Thanks, Jenny. John, was this as fun a meeting for you as August 4th?
No. No. Just praying for rain.
Yeah.
We could use some. That's all I have.
Dolly, your time is coming now, right? We're a couple weeks away?
Yeah, I'd like to let the public know that the school tax bills will be mailed out on August 31st. And if they don't receive their bill by the end of the first week in September, to please contact my office.
Great. All right. Well, I guess nobody wanted to call us, which is fine. Unless anything else, this meeting is adjourned.